de alta. They're cured, they're about to be released from the hospital. So what we want to do is we want to take kids that are about to go out in a field trip. What we want to do is try to use the school buses that are not used on Saturdays to go on different field trips. We could go sometimes to the beach, we could go to the movies, we could go to different places so they could have time. What we're trying to get here is give kids an experience they will never forget. So some activities we will do with the kids. So at the beginning, we will have a little presentation of what we're going to do in the day, so that the kids know what's next, so that they know what's going to happen. We will play with the kids, we will enjoy, we will talk. We will also read them a book. There will be a book they can choose, or we have chosen for them. We also can draw mandalas, we can do bracelets, we can do hats, we can do routines, we can sing a song. We have an activity plan for every day that we go. So when we go there, the activity, we know what we're going to do. Then, so this is how are we planning our project.
So for planning our issue, what we've done so far basically is we met with Oli, which is our current NGO, and we talked with them about our project, how we could fix it. They told us how to improve it, how to make it better, how to make it stronger. We really when we talked with them, they really influenced us, and that's how we made our project better and bigger. So they are the ones that are going to help us with the tablets that we're going to buy, the treatments, the medication, the things that we're going to buy. They're the ones that are going to help us with the money and organizing all of this. Then we met with some members of the organization,
Se Parte el Milagro, and they also gave us an idea of what we could do. They informed us more about the project and gave us some ideas that we could use to help in a better way.
Then we also met with
Vanessa Vasquez.
We also met with Vanessa Vasquez, who is basically our point person. She told us anything you need, anything that you basically want or need for this project, just tell me. So she's like our point person, and anything that we need help with, we just go to her, and she really helps us with all of this. So she's the one that organizes us the meetings with the hospitals, and she organizes us with the Ronald McDonald House. She's basically the one that organizes our project better, and then we do the action.
Okay. Now, what have we done until now? So right now, today we had a meeting with Vanessa, and we talked more about our project and the expansion. We talked about the dates we were going to go, the first. So the first dates we're going to go are on February 15th or 16th. So this Ronald McDonald House is a new house, so it's opening in a few weeks. So we also narrowed the options to one house, the Ronald McDonald House. Before we had problems, but now we have narrowed down to the Ronald McDonald House. We have a group of people who will go and will help with us. We have a really large group, but there could be only 10 people who visit per time we go. We also have planned Wishes to Santa. That's a Christmas activity that we are going to do. So, what does our project look in the future?
Okay, so in the future, kids will be happy and enjoy more of their time in the hospital and be less homesick. Then they will have a good experience. For example, in the field trips, they will have an unforgettable experience. They'll have a really good fun time, or that's at least what we're planning to do. Then they'll have a better treatment and a better lifestyle, which is basically our essential question. We're trying to really enforce that. And well, kids, they will meet us, and then we'll basically be their friends over lifetime. We'll be a really good influence.
Yeah, we will create a giant bond, and that's what we want to have fun with the kids. So what's going well? So pretty what's going well is that we have a lot of people who are going to help us throughout the project. We have people who had helped us already planning the project. We have people who are going to continue help us throughout the project. So that's something that's good for us. Also, another thing that's going really well is that we have good information about our project. We have clear the problems. We have had investigated a lot and have good information about the project. We also have a really clear idea of what we want to do. We already have everything organized and planned, and we already know what we're going to do. And finally, we have a place where we're going to go. That, in this case, is the Ronald McDonald House. We already have a place we're going to go. Okay, so some problems we have.
So we had had some problems in the past, which would be one of them is finding an an albergue, a place to work and do our project. First we had Ronald McDonald House, we had the Casita de la Paz, we had a lot of options, but in the end we had like several problems with this, and then we finally got our pick, and we finally got a response, and then we're working with the Ronald McDonald House. Now we also had problems communicating with the organization, like the emails get lost, the communication all the emails don't get to the right person. We have had a lot of trouble with that, but now it's all cleared up. Then we also got distracted by silly things. Like we would work on our project, we would do things, and then we would get distracted and then go back on track and everything, and it was really complicated for us, but I think we're doing well right now.
We will also get distracted because we wanted to take action so fast, and we wanted to already start doing it. So we sometimes start talking about the future and
don't focus on the present.
Yeah. So plan for sustainability. So what we want to do to make this a continuous event. So something we're going to do though. We're going to go every 20 days. We have to be committed and go every 20 days. Because as the teacher explained before, when we go and visit these kids, we fill up a gap. They are not used to having company and having someone to play with. So we go there and we fill up that gap. And if we don't go consistently, then when we go, because they're already used to having someone there, the gap is going to be bigger. So we have to be consistent and go every 20 days. Also, we have to give them activities they could do in a long term. Like we said before, we could draw mandala, we could make them do bracelets, hats, for a continuous activity. We will also stay in contact with the hospital, with the Ronald McDonald House, and with the hospital we're working with, to make sure if there's anything they need, just tell us. We'll also stay in contact with the university so that the program of the community service keeps on going, so that the students from the university can come to the house and help and play with the kids. So, thank you very much.
Thank you for watching our presentation.
So, any feedback, questions, or comments?
First, applause. Wow. I open it to the floor first.
Have you contacted the Ronald McDonald House themselves yet, or you have?
Yeah, we already
No,
got to
we
the
visited them today. We already
And then they
contacted.
talked about coming to visit the children?
Yes.
Yes.
There's two Ronald McDonald houses. One is San Isidro and one is Surco. And we're working with the one in Surco, which opens up the next week, like
No,
in the inauguration.
In some more weeks, and we're working with them. We already know
Yeah,
all like the ladies that work in the city. Like we really wanna do this project, and they're really
And they told you
excited.
to come play with the kids?
No, like we've been planning with them, and we've been explaining to them our project, and they've been telling us what we can do and what we can't, and then that's how we've been shaping our project. And today what we met up with is to set up the exact dates that we're gonna come, because it's a very strict program, and you cannot go you cannot make the organization adapt to your time. You have to give your time to the organization because that's what you're doing.
So which one is open already and which one is going to be open?
So in the one already open that we've been working already is in Jesus Maria in San Isidro.
In San Isidro. And so there's one circle that's about to be open in a couple of weeks.
Yes, it's
Which is the one we're gonna mainly focus on.
yes, it's in front of Markham in primary school, and it's on beside the church. See.
So do they have any guidelines for students? Is there an age limit? You said that they can't have more than 10 people visiting at once and they want a commitment from you. Is there any training in advance?
So what we've been doing, basically, they didn't give us a limit of maximum 10 people. We kind of like came up with that so we can be more organized. And we told them and they thought it was a great idea. Then we also talked with them and they told us that the only condition that we can go to the hospital to visit the Ronald McDonald House, the only condition is that Vanessa comes with us. She always has to be with us in order to do our project, to go to the certain place and be there. She always has to be with us.
And Vanessa is a representative from the Ronald McDonald House?
Yes, she also came to talk. She's in charge of Juguete Pendiente and Donante Pendiente. There was a talk in school about, she came to talk to school. So she's helping us, and yeah, that was the only that she was with us. They didn't tell
So we actually had a video, but it was in the other computer, so we couldn't put it in our system.
So you're going to visit the hospital that the children whose families are at the Ronald McDonald House are?
Yes, we're visiting the two places. The hospital they're going, it's called El Hospital del Niño. So that in that place, only we can go, but in the Ronald McDonald House,
Our group and everything, and
Yes.
everyone can go to help.
So we're going both places, to the hospital, El Hospital del Niño, and to the Ronald McDonald House. We're helping in both.
The reason I keep asking is because the Ronald McDonald House is not for children, it's for families. It's a place where parents can stay when their kids are hospitalized, and sometimes the kids stay there too, with the families. But that's why I was wondering if you're going to play with children, it's not a house for children.
Is that I don't know, for example, Venezuela was the same thing, but here in the Surco House is where children stay. For
Because
example,
sometimes they have to, what they have told us is that families also come, and sometimes parents, but they also come with the children. It's someplace, because sometimes they have to go to the hospital, stay there for the day and then come back, or sometimes they have to go get a treatment and come back and do that every day. So that's how.
to make it clear, crystal clear, is that the children, the family stay in the Ronald McDonald House, and then to get their treatment, they go to the hospital and back. And then when they're good, they go to back to their house.
I have personal experience with Ronald McDonald House, so I'm asking.
Really good work, ladies. I mean, you really did max out your time there. It was a full 40 minutes, so that's good. You've clearly learned a lot, and you wanted to share a lot of that information. I like that you had interactive activities in there. The one with the questions. Do you guys know Kahoot? Have you ever used it before?
Yes,
It's basically a way to ask questions, but you do it interactive with smartphones. And then people can see how they've scored if they've gotten the answer right or not. So instead of one person answering, because I totally went with with Miss Dennis's answer, because I was like, she's smart, she knows what she's talking about. This way people answer independently. So that might be another way to look at doing that first interactive activity. With the second interactive activity, now that you've seen it in operation once, what would you change for the next time?
We'll make it more organized because everyone was moving and they didn't really know what to do. So something we could do is just in the place put in that place and also what they have to pay, and also have more of a organized rotation, because originally we wanted to do like a family and a family and a family, but since there's not that much people in the room, we had to do it personally. So we could, that's something, and also the rotations. What we were planning to do is just have, so when we say rotate, everyone moves one place, but they just got we all got confused, so it just went.
So a little bit more organization, and you had, I think you wanted to say something, right? Because you went through this experience, and you wanted to maybe share something or ask something. So it might be useful if you give your audience members an opportunity with some question prompts to have some discussion. because I think that could be, really powerful. What would you do if you were out of money? What are some of the alternatives that you would do? Because I was like, well, I will pay less for food, and Ms. Dennis said, well, I'll walk, and some people might be, well, I will pay my kids' medical bills, so I'm going to have to get a second job, or so, starting to think and really empathize with people in the situation. And I thought you guys did a really good job of building up this connection between health and poverty, health and poverty, health and poverty, health and poverty. And in your solution, I thought you were going to tackle the root cause, which was poverty. So I think that the Ronald McDonald House is a very worthy charity and it's great work, but somewhere in there I lost a little bit of that connection of with the health and the poverty in terms of the solution development. So is there anything that you could be doing, maybe still working with Ronald McDonald House, that really tackled that main issue of poverty? I don't know. Is it just me?
No, I forgot to talk about it too.
Yeah?
You guys, with your longevity, you're talking your sustainability, you're talking about every 20 days and having it, getting the university involved. Are you planning to eventually turn it over so that the university keeps going every 20 days? Because I'm just wondering what you're going to do in high school when you're in college. Is this going to still keep going?
No, what we wanted to do is that we can't control like the days that the university goes, so we were planning is not, the point is that the university goes different days of us so that the kids could have company different days of the week, not only when we go. So so the university would, like the students would go different days for, and that we would go, so that.
So are you going to keep going in high school?
We're planning to. Yeah, we're planning to continue in high school.
In terms of logistics, because I like the part where you said, look, we're working with an NGO, we go when it's convenient for them, not convenient for us. So when would you like to set up these regular visits every 20 days? And what are the logistics in that?
Yeah, that's why the meeting was for today, to set the dates, like starting in, for example, we started the 15th of February, since we're both here. We're starting the visits. That's our first visit. We already have it done. And then from there, the 16th, we go back, but not to play with the kids, but to have a meeting with her to set the rest of the dates for the next 2 or 3 months. And that's how we have it all organized every 20 days.
And are we talking school days? Are we talking weekend days?
It really depends. Sometimes it can be a Wednesday or a weekend.
Yes.
So after school Wednesday or on a weekend?
Yes.
And you're talking, if you go with 10 people, you said you got lots of people. I'm guessing you got lots of people from grade 8 here at school?
Yeah, what we're planning is to create a big group, and every visit, 12 get to go. So that everyone gets a chance to go and visit the kids.
And you want to use the school buses?
We were planning to, but we have to.
You're not going to have much luck with that.
You may, but you're going to need a teacher. You're going to need. So if you want to become an official club, there'll be a process for you to go through in terms of you're going to have to start up an official club. You're going to have to get approval from administration, and I think you have a student leadership team now. And then you're going to have to get a teacher sponsor who's willing to accompany you on these visits, and agree to the same times that you're talking about, right? Because if you're getting out a school bus, you're going to have teacher chaperones to go with it. So that's a really key piece to that puzzle. The school is very supportive. We got lots of groups going out on Saturdays, but it's really got to be supported. Because of course the health and safety of our students as you go into new environments is really, really important as well. So I think you guys have an enormous amount of knowledge and energy and vision, and those are amazing assets. Those are all really, really key. In terms of details for logistics, and actualizing some of that vision and that drive, I see a huge amount of potential. So I think if you have the effort to really nail down some of these details, there are some SMART goals where you can actually attain success and make some impact. Yeah? But I think you've got to focus just a little bit, right? Does that make sense? So I love that you've got these meetings set up. I think that's very practical, but I think there's some big logistics pieces there. So maybe start thinking, who's a teacher that would be willing to support us on Wednesday afternoons and Saturday mornings who'd be willing to be a chaperone for trips every 20 days, because that's a big piece. Like,
the trips aren't every 20 days. Like the field trips are like a different part of kind of like the project kind of. They're like 3 parts, and transportation is the trips. It's basically aside like another project of the 20-day schedule.
So you were looking at the school bus for the field trips for the kids who were getting ready to be released?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
personal transportation for visits to the Ronald McDonald House?
Yes.
Gotcha.
would be done through
'Cause-
parents separately.
Yes.
Yes. So we were like, so basically so the health is one whole thing, but the happiness part is divided into the field trip and the visiting.
Mhm.
So we wanted to use the buses for the field trips because there's more people like going to the field trips, because not only kids from the Ronald McDonald House are going, and from the hospital are going, but also kids from here to school.
Mhm.
So it's a larger amount of people, so that's when we're going to need.
Are you guys familiar with Creamas in high school?
Okay,
Creamas, so it's a group that goes to 2 local schools. We have groups that do, Abla Roosevelt every Saturday. How will you guarantee the commitment of your volunteers to be, so that that gap, that you're filling, remains consistent? How will you work to guarantee because I think you guys are committed, but how will you guarantee other people's participation?
That's why we have to have a really large group. Because like I said before, we want to have a really large group, I don't know, you mentioned 50 people that want to go to this visit. And okay, so 10 people are going the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. If someone just, because they had an emergency or they had something, they couldn't go, so another person from the group could go. That's why we have to have a really large group, so that if someone doesn't go, someone else can fill.
I think that's a solution, but just thinking long term, are you wanting people like yourselves to develop, some relationships with the people that you're making connections with, or just making sure that there's spots filled when you're going on the trips?
It's kind of like, it's basically, of course, we're not going to obligate people to go
Mhm.
and just put them in a group and say, you have to go this. No, of course. We have to ask people if they're interested, they're compassionate to go, and they're committed to be able to go. And I already know some friends of mine want to.
Because I think that's good to have some criteria, because not everybody will have, it's a very special skill set, because if you're going to go visit someone who's in a temporary home because, someone they care about is hospitalized, or perhaps the other person has been hospitalized themselves, that requires some, I think some of the skills you need to have some sensitivity, some empathy. So a huge group, just to have numbers, may not be ideal, whereas a focused group of committed individuals who are seeking to develop a skill set over a long period of time. So that you guys have a couple of months, right, over the summer break to be thinking. And that's why I want you to know your presentation is great. I got lots and lots and lots of details here. I'm giving you this feedback because I think it has potential. So I want you to have, that calm, relaxed couple of months to think about the feedback and be thinking, okay, how can we take this and make a plan that really, really is gonna make our dreams come true, and is really gonna have the impact that we want to have. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. It's 4:15. Are there any other quick comments from
Yes, from the people from
yes.
the top.
You guys picked this because of Zambia? I saw you looking at me as soon as I said it too.
So the two ladies, do you have anything to say? Like any questions about, or any comments or feedback to make our project better?
It's not required.
No, it's
You can involve,
details of, no, I
you
know.
can involve students from other schools too.
Yes.
Yeah, from your age, you can present this to schools and maybe that will be a target for volunteers. I don't know, Councilman Mar,
Yeah, we also had that in mind.
because you are very
yeah.
encouraged to do this.
That's why we wanted first to start small, and then if this works, we wanted to start getting bigger. For example, the universities, talk to another one, and then start getting volunteers from other schools. And that we first want to start small, and then once we got the base already, we're gonna start building up to it. So, like if they say if you don't build a good base, then there's one point or everything will fall. So that's why we want to build a strong base and a strong. So later we can start building up, inviting other people to come, have more and different things happening.
I have a comment about the group of your friends, for example, that are willing to to participate as a volunteer, and is that you need to make that connection like at first and make a group that are very that are very passionate, that are very committed, but in the process you will always get people that are going to disengage, and you have to, I think that you need like a ongoing thing to get more volunteers, just in case some people are getting off the project, no? Because at the first moment everyone will be like, hey, yes, very passionate, but then maybe some people disengage, no? And some kind of training, no? Or with Vanessa, this person, I think that you all need, all the children or the teens that are going to help need some kind of, I don't know if it's a training, but some rules and how to do the things with the sick children and everything.
So yeah, that's something we talk about today, that before actually taking the kids, we have to tell them what to expect, like what they have to or what they can't do while they're with the kids. So that's something we really did think about it. And yeah, kids have to know what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. So yeah, that's something we thought about it. Yeah, we have thought about it, and we were planning to do once we have a bigger group of volunteers at one.
Just one more comment that you might want to keep in mind while you're finishing up your planning is because these are Ramadan houses, typically are, and each one might be a little different, but typically are for families, they're likely to run into siblings. So if you go to play with the kids, some of them will be healthy and some of them will be sick, and they'll probably all be scared. Just something to keep in mind while you're working.
It might be good to partner with the counselors so that, you know what I mean, some sensitivity training, because you want it to be, I want this to be a positive volunteering experience for you, and I think the more prepared you feel in a volunteering experience, the more positive it will end up being, right? If someone's unprepared, it could be negative, and then they might think, oh, I don't like this type of volunteering. But if they just had a little bit of training in advance, it could work out to be great. Okay?
I've had past experience too with the Ronald McDonald House. That I've gone to play with them and everything, and I know how it goes. I know how it is. I know it can be really tiring sometimes.
I really appreciate the effort that you've put into this. Again, it's clear that you've learned a huge amount, and I do think you've got a lot of drive, and I do think I'm going to see something result from this. So it'd be really exciting to know, after the 2-month break, I'd love to touch base with you and see what has come to fruition, what happened from that meeting on the 15th and the 16th. Have some conversations maybe before the Christmas break about talking about if you wanted to make this into a club at school, what would be the steps that you would need to take to do that as well. Yeah? Okay. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Again, a round of applause. Excellent job answering lots of questions. Well done. I'm going to turn the recorder off. And thanks for staying so long extra.